So Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub must disclose hidden fees. What are those hidden fees anyway? That money, all that money that you're hiding, that you're taking away from these drivers. They've worked for it. It's their money, for crying out loud. And then they also have to give delivery workers all tips under new California law. Tony Zhu, Dara Khosrowshahi, and the other a-holes that run these companies, those tips were intended for the delivery driver, for the hardworking gig driver, from the person that ordered them directly into that gig driver's bank account. Don't put your hands in our tip bar, in our cookie bar. That's our cash, right? And it is sad that we have to fight for a law to prevent people like Tony Zhu stealing your tips. Right? He was caught with his pants down. He settled the lawsuit for a fraction, but he kept most of your tips. Uber did the same too. That was your money. So what do we have to do? We've got to go to the courts, got to go through the whole process and protect our cash. It's sad. This is our money that they're stealing, right? But we have to fight for laws to get our cash back. Slap them down, my friends.
California will soon give tip protections to delivery workers
and
require more transparency from Doordash Incorporated and other food delivery apps under a bill signed into law by Governor Gavin Newsom on Tuesday night.
Thank you.
AB 286 requires delivery apps like Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub to give delivery workers all their tips. The bill also prohibits food delivery apps from charging customers more than restaurants do. And it addresses hidden fees by requiring the companies to disclose to restaurants and customers a detailed cost breakdown of each transaction. Feed companies have profited during the pandemic by keeping consumers and restaurants in the dark about the true cost of their services, said State Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez de San Diego, who wrote the bill in a statement. Now small restaurants and their customers will know what they're being charged upfront and get to see exactly how much is actually benefiting the restaurant. The bill, which will take effect January 1, 2022, is the latest of many efforts to regulate the burgeoning app-based food delivery industry. At the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic last year, municipalities adopted emergency delivery fee caps. This year, San Francisco and New York City enacted permanent fee caps, sparking lawsuits from Doordash, Uber Eats, and Grubhub. And New York City last month passed first in the nation legislation that would establish minimum pay for delivery workers, give them access to restaurant bathrooms, and more. See Doordash, Grubhub, Uber Eats battle increasing regulations. Doordash, which has faced questions about how much its drivers keep in tips and last year settled a lawsuit from Washington, D.C., accusing it of applying tips to workers' base pay, says on its website that its delivery workers keep all their tips. Uber Eats and Grubhub also say tips go straight to the drivers.
Please.
Doordash, which originally said it had no comment on the signing of AB 286, later said it already provides transparency throughout its platform to customers, merchants, and delivery workers. The company also said Dashers always receive 100% of their tips and see the full breakdown of all of their deliveries in the app.
You stole
Grubhub
their
and
money,
Uber
Tony.
did not return requests for comment. Meanwhile, Newsom vetoed another bill, AB 1444, which would have dictated that agreements between restaurants and food delivery platforms be written and include certain content. It also would have restricted delivery platforms from charging restaurants for forwarded calls unless those calls resulted in an order, and required listing websites to disclose whether ordering through them would result in forwarding a call and a fee paid to a third party other than the restaurant. In his veto message, Newsom said we have significantly increased oversight of food delivery companies in recent years. The governor also mentioned that the delivery platforms have said they no longer charge restaurants simply for forwarding calls. This story has been updated with comment.
So, good thing by Newsom there. Is not everyone's favorite, but this is a good thing that he did. And my message, and I know you executive trash at these companies, I know you watch my videos, right? And I have a message for you. When people work hard for their money, don't find angles, don't find schemes, don't find ways to steal their hard-earned money. Because when it comes out, it does eventually come out, you get dragged into court, you get humiliated in the news, and we expose the trash that you are, the character, your character, because you make these decisions, you sign off on them, right? So you know what we do. We fight, we bring in the laws, we bring in the numbers, we bring in the foot soldiers, and we slap you down through protests, through strikes, through court cases, right? So in the long run, learn from your mistakes, executive trash, that this route doesn't work. It actually costs you more. So why not do the right thing from the very beginning? I wish every gig worker out there a fantastic day, and thank you for fighting for this new law.